All right, here we go. So what are we going to look at today? Here's a little hint. Yep, that's right. We're checking out the pyramids today. First thing that I really want to notice is that these pyramids have these gold tops. And I suspect that was actually pretty realistic. There's some writing on there or raised spots on there of gold. And that was probably pretty true to how they were originally, although now long since gone. You can see out in the distance here several ruins, smaller pyramids, that sort of thing. And of course, the cities that were out there in the distance from the pyramids. I suspect the scale of all of this has been heavily condensed because it needs to be for the game. And we'll go check out that pyramid and the one on the other side of it in a bit. But for right now, we're going to attack this one right here. And in order to do that, we're going to slide down the pyramid. You can't tell me there's anything more cool than this. Oh, come on, let's slide. There we go. I would imagine that the amount of friction on your feet would probably set your shoes on fire, but it's a video game, so you can do whatever you want. Anyhow, here we are at the bottom of the pyramid, and or pretty close to it. And what we want to do is find a way in. The easiest way to find a way in is to use Sinu, our little falcon, and so we're going to go ahead and use Sinu here. And Sinu has this sort of like special vision. She can see things that we can't see. And we go like this, and you can see there's like a little arrow almost pointing to where we want to go. And there it is. That's the entrance to the pyramid here. So let's go ahead and head over to the entrance to that pyramid. I don't know if you just heard that, but that's hyenas down there. If we went down there, they would attack us. If we stay up here, they will not attack us. And I'm going to leave them alone because there's no reason to hurt those little hyenas. They haven't done anything to me. So here we go, the entrance to one of the Great Pyramids. Kind of dark, so let's go ahead and light up a torch. There we go. Much better that way. We're going to take this one slow because it's pretty interesting. You can actually set these cobwebs on fire and burn them away. You'll notice that the torches are already lit. That is because I actually came through earlier and sort of did a run through on this. Over here is a little crack in the wall, and we can slip our way through there, but first I want to come up here and just kind of look around. We'll get down there in a bit. It's actually that part is going to require a little explaining about the backstory of this game, and we'll get to that in a bit. So, so far not a lot going on in this pyramid in particular. Some of the pyramids have really interesting stuff inside. Some of them don't. Well, this is interesting. We've got, we can go down there or up here. And I'm going to go up here first, see what's going on. We can light these torches. There we go. That'll give us a little more light to work with. There's probably one on the other side. We'll go ahead and light that one as well after we finish jumping up the wall. This will help light our way through all of this. Ah, and there's a little thing we can slip through there. Do that in just a second. I just want to light these torches that are here. There we go. We're going to crawl through this little passageway. And that brings us to a big room. I don't really know what's going on in this room. Let's get some light in here to begin with. So we have a busted up sarcophagus here, it looks like. We have some various little pots and stuff. Minor hieroglyphics over there. I can probably break these pots. Ooh, there's a scroll. I can read that. So, there is a commoner called something. Can't pronounce that person's name. So it seems to be some kind of little, ancient tale of some sort or another. Probably not too much of interest. That little pot over there we can break, and I'm going to because there might be something interesting in it. There we go. And there was absolutely nothing of interest in it. So I'm picking my torch back up and getting out of here. There's a little place here we can slide through. And things are starting to get interesting for us now. Let's see what we've got over here. We've got some little statues, one of those Ankh things, it looks like it's a container full of jade cherub beetles or something like that, or scarabs, scarab beetles, sorry, not cherubs. And a little couple little statue things there. We got some more little treasures over here. Yep, there I just burnt away some of those cobwebs. Some pots, some little ankhs again. Some more stuff over here. Let's see if we can burn away some of this. There we go. More of those scarabs. Some kind of little gold and thing wall. Anyhow, some treasures. But apparently, that was only the beginning. We now have a room completely full of treasure. And you can hear me walking through it. It's making quite a lot of racket. This looks interesting. Don't know what it is, but it's got some hieroglyphics on it. And there's quite a lot of treasure going on. We can break seals to get through. Now, having said that, this is the seal that I broke at some point in the past of the game. And that's a seal that I broke. And you can see all this sand here. So when I broke the seal, that sand basically poured out, and the entranceway up there that we will go to in just a moment after looking around here a bit more, that opened up for us. So it's kind of like, these little secret passageways and such. And we have a bunch of these little statues of this sort of Birdman guy. I'm not really sure which one of these he is. I think that's Horus, if I'm not mistaken completely. But, lots of treasure in this room. It's a big room full of treasure, and that's kind of cool. Unfortunately, we can't take most of this with us. So we can now come up here. There's, a little more treasure and stuff, little thrones, some boxes. And I imagine to some extent this is somewhat accurate. I see that I can interact with this one. Let's see what it says. See, O King, you are the great star, the companion of Orion, who traverses the sky with... Oh, Orion, I guess that is. Orion? I don't know. Who navigates the Duat with Osiris. And, let's see, you ascend from the east of the sky and bring renewed to the Duces. Okay, so I think it's basically like a sun god sort of thing, and I can see there's a A little tomb back there. I can't interact with that one. I just slid down a pile of treasure. And you can't tell me that sliding down a pile of treasure isn't kind of like the coolest thing you could possibly do in the whole world. So this is what they call the ancient tablets. They're all over the place. Originally, when you get here, you have to read this, and it unlocks something for you. But these little tablets are scattered about in various tombs everywhere. And they're kind of cool. And they give you hints towards other things in the game that you need to do. That's a little treasure chest. I've already raided it. And just here's more little treasures and stuff that you can't really do anything with. So this I can interact with. Let's see what it says. Somebody's name who I can't pronounce. Son of a queen. And bringer of light. Saffron rug beloved. And blah, 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 blah. Important dude. He's dead. And he's been put into the tomb here. We'll light the torch for him. Because, you know, that's a cool thing to do. I don't think there's any way up. So we're going to go out through this little passageway here. And it's pretty dusty apparently. So not much going on in that room, although whoops, I'm definitely sliding down there. Don't know what I just slid down. I'm hoping I can climb back up in some way, because I think, yeah, that's what I thought. There's a little something going on over here, and I want to go over there. So I don't know what this is, but it's another little passageway. Climb over some rubble. If we're lucky, this might actually bring us back to where we were originally. But I really don't know. There's a lot of debris and junk here. Oh, there's a place to go. Nope, didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. There we go. And these tombs kind of go on forever in some ways. You can kind of wander around in them for a long time. See if we can't slip under there. There we go. So that was just like a little blockade of some sort, and you can slide under it. Got some ropes and junk there. I don't know what that is. This is going to be fun. As we go through this, all of those are going to catch on fire. It's kind of fun. We'll go real slow so you can see it. Yep, there you go. Not a lot going on down this passageway, mind you. Anyhow, we're gonna try to. Whoop! And I just slid down something. Oh, I see daylight out there, so we'll squeeze through this little cavern here, and we'll be outside someplace. I don't know where. On the edge of the tomb, someplace. Okay, so what we kind of need to do right now is find our way back to where we went in, because I want to show you another part of this this tomb. And interestingly, the other part of this tomb is going to be an important little piece of the game itself, explaining sort of a part of the game and what's going on with it. I'm wondering if this is actually, I just need to go down the other way here. And let me see if that's the case. Whoops. Let me light a torch so I can see where I'm going. No, that's not where I wanted to go. So the other part of this that I want to get into, and we'll need Sinu, our little falcon, to help us out here. I think actually that's where I want to go in right there, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if he can help me find where I'm trying to get to. Maybe it's on a different side. I may have come out a different side of the tomb, and that's very plausible. Let's see if it's over here. Nope, I'm not seeing it there. So we're just going to circle around the tomb here, or around the pyramid, with Sinu, our little falcon, and he's really good at finding stuff for us with his, hawk vision, or eagle vision, I guess. He's an eagle, not a hawk. You know what? I can see right down there. Those are the icons representing the hyenas, and that tells me that this is where I want to be, over here, and I can see right now that that in fact that's where I want to try to get to. So we're going to have to, run around the whole pyramid at the moment. Anyhow, we're going to run around the pyramid now. So, back to what I was saying about the game. The game itself, here's the premise of the game. In the present day, i.e. our time period now, there is a group of scientists who have developed a scientific, or I don't know what you want to call it, but a device, a little thing you get inside of. This thing that you get inside of is called the Artemis, and it allows you to travel back in time into the body of one of your ancestors. It only works on certain people with certain genetic structures, and in particular it seems to work on these assassins. So if we're to look at this game from the standpoint of what's happening right now, I am actually a woman from New Jersey. I am that's the character that I really am. She's a woman in New Jersey, and she is sitting in a pod, and that pod connects her to this ancient ancestor of hers, a person she shares a genetic background with, and it allows her to live through his life. It's kind of an interesting concept when you really think about it, because you've got this woman sitting in New Jersey in a pod living the life of an Egyptian assassin. But that's the premise of the game. Now, as part of that premise, I've kind of lost track of where I am, so I may have to use Sinu again. Oh, nope, there it is. I see it. So as part of this premise, one of the things going on is that there were two groups of people, the Assassins and the Templars. The Templars are basically the bad guys, and they're trying to control the world using these truly ancient artifacts. And the truly ancient artifacts come from, you don't really know yet. It may be an alien race, it may be a precursor to humanity, like they were humans. And we're going to squeeze through here. This is what we passed up on before. We're going to come in here, and this is what all of what I'm explaining is about. So they were a very advanced civilization that predated the Egyptians. And they may be aliens, they may be a advanced human race, which then somehow devolved. There's some indication that there was a great catastrophe, and that great catastrophe led to the Sumerians and then the Egyptians rising up. There's not a lot going on in this tunnel. That's why I'm not really looking around here. I just happen to know where this one ends up, and it's kind of an interesting place. So throughout the game, you find the originals, the ancient people, their little setups, and their little their sort of almost computer rooms, and you get little bits of information about this great catastrophe that occurred and what it was going on in the beginning of before the Sumerians and the ancient Egyptians. So, and that's kind of where we're heading right now, is to one of those. And You're going to see that in just a moment here as we break through the actual tunnel. And that's this room here. And you can see that we've got some more modern looking carvings on the walls there. The structures are more regular looking, and these are the signs that you are in one of the places it's part of this game. It's the sort of backstory. And so here it is, this crazy computer thing. I'm going to interact with it in just a moment. You can see that there are these sort of floating symbols in the air. You've got some planetary stuff, some mathematical equations, that kind of thing. They're sort of flashing. That look like maybe some kind of molecule or something. Right over here, we've got a sarcophagus from somebody. And some interesting stuff glowing on the floor. We've got a sacrificial guy on the ground here. He has clearly had a knife stabbed through his stomach, and that's obviously also very recent. I won't go into the whole details of exactly what happened here because it's actually, more about the game and less about, anything of interest to you. But I figured I might as well stop in here and show you this little bit. Okay, so here we've got this little high-tech computerized thingamajig, and you can interact with it, and I'm going to, and I'll just let you listen to it, but each time you find one of these and you interact with it, and it tells you another piece of this sort of ultimate backstory to the game, which is this ancient race that has died out, but they have implanted themselves into the genetic structure of the humans that came after them. And again, we don't know if they're aliens or if they are an advanced race who somehow collapsed. You just don't know. Eventually we expect and hope that throughout the various Assassin's Creed games, we're going to find out the answer to that ultimate story. But right now we only have bits and pieces. So here we go, we're interacting.
Retransmission, segment 3, acquiring contemporaneity. It has been 95 days since the great catastrophe. The messenger speaks. You must be wondering why I have reached out to you. It was written, you see, that you would come to this particular chamber at this very moment in time. The walls told us of your coming when we once were. Look at them. Are they not fascinating? These walls tell of a tragic story. A story we transcribed on our structures, on our artifacts. A story we could not alter. A mystery defying us in plain sight. We tried. Our scholars and scientists, poets and physicists, bright minds, rebellious hearts. They all tried so hard to bring about change. We all failed. None could change what we discovered, the stories written into the walls of these rooms. By whom, we never knew. We know they tell of the future that is, the future that was, and the future that is yet to come. The heroes. We failed at modifying the line. We failed at adding a single dot. It was clear we were to be messengers at best. But messengers to whom? To you. We removed our ability to read those stories from your original template. A doorway that is also a puzzle. We must find the solution. Those were Brutus's words when he visited the vault under the Colosseum more than 2,000 years ago. He drew the vault, sketched it to the best of his abilities, but he could not see. Just as you are blind, you may read your watch, you may read hourglasses and calendars, but you cannot grasp beyond that simplistic surface. For now, the true reading of time still escapes you. And so today, the curtain's pulled and the Eros is shown, tragic and complete. Those walls you might never read. Events yet unfold as written. But something, anything must change. You do not understand what is at stake. The reader has no power. He is but an observer. But the author invents the future. The author owns the future. A future.
Whoops, I think I walked too far away from it and that cut it off. But this isn't really what you're here to see anyhow. But basically you can see throughout the game and all of the Assassin's Creed games, you find these various tombs of this, or I don't even know if they're tombs, but whatever these are, these little futuristic past things, and they give you a glimpse into the ultimate backstory of what's going on with Assassin's Creed and with all of these people, and why you're fighting this battle against the Templars. You find these ancient artifacts that are from the people who built that little room that we were just in, and that's sort of the whole point of this game. So I figured I'd give you a little backstory on all of this so you understood what the whole game was about. And for now, we're going to call this one done, and I promise we'll hit some of these other pyramids on the next round, and you can see more of the actual Egyptian tombs and less of this sort of backstory of the alien advanced race that is sort of the point of the whole game series itself. That's it, and I'll see you next time. See if Sinu comes down and joins me for the final scene here. Don't know if she's going to or not. Nope. Anyhow, that's it for today.